Look, folks, as a professional dog trainer, I already know the biggest challenge you're already facing with your dog, and that it's full of energy, bouncing off the walls, and definitely doesn't listen to a word that's coming out of your mouth. And walking them just isn't cutting it, especially if it's too damn hot outside, or maybe it's freezing cold, or maybe it's pouring down rain. What are you going to do? Well, Uncle Garrett is here to help show you the top 5 best activities to keep your dog mentally and physically fulfilled so they can live their best life. Now, if you stay tuned to the end, I'm going to show you a really special one, my personal favorite, that is really fun for both you, your dog, and the entire family. Let's get into it. Souk! We'll see you there. If your dog's full of piss and vinegar, just like Miss Nix is here, we're gonna channel all of that energy and drive into obedience, as opposed to chewing up your carpets, your furniture, digging holes in your backyard, etc. So what can you do in your home? Well, you can start out by just playing engagement games. So you throw a piece of free, and then you can recall her like this, Nix here, and she comes in. Now, she's only been in our program like 2 days, meaning she don't know jack diddly squat, just like your dog probably at home. So we're starting with a beautiful clean slate. Nix here. And then you can just work engagement, meaning just walk backwards, and as the dog follows you, you mark yes and you pay. Now this is a cool technique that we stole from Justin Rigney, a good friend of ours. And the idea is that you strip her pole heel around the chair. Now what that does is it creates a little barrier that makes it almost look like she knows how to heel. Isn't that cool? Because she don't know what the hell she's doing. Now something else cool that you can do with the chair, you can bust out a healer's box. And I know what you might be saying, Garrett, I don't have access to a healer's box. I bet you got access to the Jeff Bezos special. Look around your home, find a box, cut out one side of it, and place it in front of you. Now what does this do? Same thing with the chair. It kind of isolates their movement and helps you perform really clean front center finishes. Let's see if she'll demonstrate that for us. Here she comes in, beautiful, a little crooked, but we're gonna work on that. From here you can work sits, downs, stands, eye focus, and you can see how we can take this game to the next level. But here's my perfect point. This dog don't know nothing, and look how far we've come just in a few minutes, focusing all that energy into positive outlets. So this is just the beginning of this show, folks. Much more coming your way. Let's roll into the next one. Now, when it comes to teaching tricks and obedience in and around your home, there's one particular obedience command that stands far and above the rest, and that is the place command. And we got Mr. Bubba here, a 5-month-old Corso, that's gonna be our little demo dog to show you the power of the place board. First thing you're gonna notice is I barely have to move. So he can get all that energy and excitement and try to figure out this puzzle, and I can work him from 360 degrees, and you'll see later on, we're gonna get into this from various distances and crush the triple Ds, which we're gonna tell you about in a minute. So we're gonna wait for him to get on, and once he does, we mark yes and we pay him. When it comes to obedience in and around your home, if there's one thing to teach your dog, it is the place command. Now, if you stick around, we're gonna dive in a little deeper on the place command. So not only does this tire your dog out, not only does it fill them with enrichment, but this is actually gonna help you in your day-to-day life. Let's get into that part right now. Now look, before we get into those triple Ds and show you how to amp this game up, you gotta at least understand the base layer. And the best thing I can tell you right now, if you really wanna get your dog or train to be the best that they can be, you gotta smash that subscribe button right now, because we have the world's best free content available right here on YouTube. Now, having said that, if you wanna fast track your dog and teach your dog the proper way to go on place using free shaping, food luring, hand commands, voice commands, leash pressure, and e-collar pressure, the only way you're gonna be able to fast track your success and have guaranteed results is by visiting our online website called DIYcanine.com, where we 100% guarantee your results or your money back. Now, let's get back to the video. All right, now we're gonna go ahead and attack those triple Ds. First one being distance. Just because your dog knows how to go to place from like 2 or 3 feet away does not mean they even know how to go from 10 or 15 feet away. We're gonna test it. We already know he knows how to go to place. Place, place, place. That's how dogs' minds work. You can't skip from 2 feet to 15 feet. You have to work from 3 feet, 4 feet. Start pushing the envelope at 5 or 6 feet. Let's see if he's got it from here. Place like a champ. Isn't that funny how their minds work? And that's how you can spend literally days and weeks and even months charging up your entire home and forming mental pathways for your dog to understand how to get to place from distance. But now we want to start throwing in a little bit of distraction. How do we do that? Check this little slick trick out that we use all the time in dog training. You go on YouTube and or you record the sound of your doorbell or someone knocking. Then you get a Bluetooth speaker and you set it up, guess what? Near your front door while your dog's not looking. For now, I'm gonna put it here so you can hear it on the mic. And you do this. Instead of your dog being conditioned that doorbell means run to the front door and bark, we charge up this sound. He goes, what is that? That's right, it means go to place, my friend. Good job, and you get paid. Doorbell doesn't mean run to the front door and act like a wild animal, it means go to place. That's 2 of the triple D's, baby. What's the third one that's also very important? Duration. And duration's gonna require your dog to understand, typically with leash pressure and e-collar pressure, what it means to stay on place. We'll do a little test while we jibber jabber. You can keep maybe eyes on him while I walk this way. You can still combine duration with distance and distractions. Let's test it while we're doing it. Because you know better than me what it is that gets your dog to come off place or to be distracted. It's usually people, other dogs, a knock at the door, but let's test it. He hears it. Did he stay? Yes, he did. He gets paid. Should he come off? We mark that behavior with a no. We grab the leash, we use the e-collar the right way, and that's how it works. Master those triple D's and you can master the place board in your entire home, and you can literally spend days, weeks, and even months mastering this command to make sure your dog, no matter what, knows how to go to place and stay on place. All right, let's roll into the next one. Y'all wanna know the secret sauce for Thanos looking lean and mean and muscular? You're looking at it. I don't care if it's hot as hell out, if it's raining, if it's snowing. We got the fans running, we got the air conditioning in the garage, and we can set him up on this and he can do 20, 30 minutes, no problem. When you introduce the treadmill correctly, your dog will love it. They look forward to it. They actually get a runner's high. Now, if you want to introduce this to your dog, the way you're going to go about it is you're going to dust off the one that's hiding in your attic that you haven't used for 5 years. You can go on to Facebook Marketplace and find these used but in great condition, whether it's an electric one or one that's called a dog slat mill. Those are the non-powered ones where the dogs actually self-propel them themselves. Those are also amazing. Either which way, you don't start out day one, session one with it moving. This is 0.5 miles an hour. You can tell he's like, are we walking or are we standing still? It's a little awkward for them because it's too slow of a pace for him. Now, your mileage will vary. Every dog has different gait, different size legs, but you can see this is awkward for him. So for him, a slow pace, this is an okay pace right now for starting. I'm not even gonna tell you the number because it doesn't matter. That's for him, but even this is maybe a little slow. He likes going a little faster, and your mileage is gonna vary. Now, I gotta caution you, word of caution. Number one, don't do any of this without consulting with your vet, of course. Make sure your dog is physically fit for it. Next, never, ever, ever leave your dog on this tool by themselves ever. They can seriously injure themselves, they can kill themselves. Now, these do have a kill switch. You can hook this up to their collar, but I don't need to do that because I'm never gonna leave him. I'm gonna be right here so that if anything were to happen, I can pull that myself and he immediately comes to a stop. And we let him know he's a superstar. If you introduce this tool correctly, your dog will become addicted to it and love it. If you do it wrong, they can hurt themselves or worse, and they will hate you for it. This is an amazing tool for you. Let's jump into the next section. We got a lot more coming. All right, we're back with Mr. Bubba, and we're gonna walk and talk you through a little bit of free shaping. Now, what free shaping makes it really exciting is you don't have to do anything except stand here, hold the clicker, and throw some food. Now, in this case, we're teaching him how to go onto a touchpad. We'll talk a little bit about what the touchpad means in real life, but it's at least making him, he's like, what do I do here? How do I get paid? If I sniff around on the ground, will I get paid? No, but if you go ahead and put your paws on that, think of it as a giant button that makes me, the vending machine, pay him. So what this does is not just get that physical exercise, because we can throw him all over the house, but he's really got to stop and think and really burn up some calories with that mental workout. All he's got to do is put his paws on there. Now, what's the practical application of this? Look, you can just get them to do something and you can move that button and you can make different things the button in your home, like getting their nose to touch a doorknob, getting them to stand or sit or go somewhere. So if you can get him to put his front paws on, you can get him to do a beautiful rotation, which will come in handy freaking dandy when you want to show off to your friends a dog that knows how to heel beautifully by your side, no matter if you're making left-hand turns, right-hand turns, and eventually you can name this, Bubba, here, touch, yes. and then we can rotate with them. So this is just barely skimming the surface of what free shaping can do for you and your dog, but a fantastic exercise that you can do literally anywhere in your home, anywhere in the world. Just start free shaping whatever you want, and free shaping goes a lot further than just putting his paws on this button on the floor. All right, let's roll into the next one. Now, I don't know if you know this or not, but free shaping actually is the most powerful form of training that you can find anywhere on the planet. Except that's kind of the problem, is you can't find this anywhere because even most professional dog trainers don't know how to access and or even teach the power of free shaping. But guess what? We actually have a course called just that. It's the only course of its kind available anywhere in the world, and it's literally called that, The Power of Free Shaping, where we show you with multiple different dogs, different ages, how to access and harness the power of free shaping to teach your dog to literally do anything. Now, here's the scary thing is, if you don't know how to access and harness the power of free shaping, here's a little hit. Your dog is already free shaping whether you know it or not. That's how they learn how to shoot out the front door. That's how they learn to jump on Aunt Betty. That's how they learn to go in your closet and shoot your shoes. They learned on their own, and that's exactly what free shaping is the dog learning things on their own. We simply guide them through the process, doing it the right way, so they're learning good things and not bad things. But enough yapping from me. Let's get into the next lesson. Ladies and gentlemen, we probably saved the best for last, and that is tapping into your dog's natural drives and ability, their God-given talent of using their nose to find things that they want. What are we talking about? Hunt drive, food drive, and ultimately a badass game of hide and seek with your dog. This is a game you can play with just you and your dog, but you can also get the whole family involved. We'll walk and talk you through it real quick. And no, your dog doesn't have to be a police dog to master this game. Every single dog on the planet is capable of doing this game. Not only capable, they're going to be really good at it, and you're going to get a ton of enjoyment out of it also. Now, it's not as physically demanding as, say, running on a treadmill, but it absolutely exhausts them mentally and is so much fun for them, and I'm telling you, you're going to love it as well. So whether you use a piece of food like a cheese stick we have here, a treat, your dog's food that they're going to eat for the day, or their favorite toy, or even their favorite person, the name of the game is to hide that object and then let them find it. Now, if you want to have success with this, I just got a word of caution. Start small, okay? Something very short, sweet, and simple. And the suggestion is kind of restrain your dog, flash the cash, and then let that disappear. Whether you disappear with the cheese stick around the corner or the person who's got the toy disappears around the corner and then hides. And then you will watch and see your dog naturally look for it. The trick there is don't help them. They will figure it out, and ultimately what you're looking for is what we call a final alert. It could be whining, could be barking, could be scratching, and then you can later on shape that behavior into a sit, a down, whatever you want. But for the very beginning stages, you're simply gonna reward their engagement and their hunt drive. So as soon as they show some level of interest or indication that they found it, in which we call a change of behavior, that's that little extra sniff, that little extra paying attention to the door slit or wherever you hid the item. But then you can take this game outside into the hardware store, you name it. In fact, this is such a fun game that if you are so interested, please comment below if you want us to really break this down for you and show you step by step how to progress with multiple dogs, with multiple different versions of this game. If we get enough comments, enough likes, enough shares, we're gonna go ahead and bang out this video for you in one of our future videos. But that all being said, I would like to say right now, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, and we will see you in future videos.